Hey, what's going on everybody? Today's video is all about using the right tool for the job. And today's job is going to be changing the drive belt, the serpentine belt on a 2011 Hyundai Sonata. And the tool that I'll be talking about is a zero offset box wrench. And it's like the extended one, so it just feels really just like a sword, you know, like something you would use to fight zombies with. But anyway, so this is the tool that I'm going to be talking about. It's going to make the job so much easier. I've tried a whole bunch of different tools, and you know how that goes when you don't have the right tool. So you use what you have and it turns a 10-minute job into like an hour-long job. And then, you know, that trip that you promised everybody, you can't really fulfill that promise because you just spent so much time working on the car. Well, with this tool, you can fulfill that promise and take everybody on that trip because it's just going to make the job that much quicker. And it's a zero offset box wrench. I'll go ahead and put a link down in the description below. You can pick up the set. It's really awesome. And I'm also going to show you how to just get the most use out of this tool to make it as most effective as possible. And I'm also going to describe just how to change the belt, like in brief detail. This really isn't a how-to video on changing the belt, but the thing that I just wanted to share with you guys today is just picking the right tool, because sometimes you can get away with not using the right tool and still get the job done, but there are some times where having the right tool really helps, and this is one of those situations. So I highly recommend getting the zero offset box wrench, and now I'm going to show you guys just how to use it. All right, let's get started. All right, so before we get started, in order to make this job as easy as we can, we're going to relocate the coolant tank, and we're going to put it over here, and then we're going to remove a bolt that holds the AC line in place, just in case we need to move it when we're adjusting the tension. All right, so let's get started. And we'll just sit it over there like that. Okay, next we're going to remove this 10mm bolt that holds the AC line in place. Be careful not to drop it. All right, now that those two things are out of the way, now we can make our adjustment, or we can start to remove the belt. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm using the bronze shop light in case you're wondering about the color balance, but just wanted to get a little bit more light down in here so you could see exactly where I'm going. And so I'm taking a zero offset box wrench, and I'm just going to place it in here. And as you can just see just how easy it is to get in there. And there's no fighting, there's no you know, worrying about dropping sockets or whatever you were using before to adjust this. The tool for this job is the key. So using the right tool is what's going to make this job as easy as possible. And a zero offset box wrench, I'm using the long extended one, and the zero offset box wrench is the tool to use for this job to make it as easy as possible. Okay, so now we're going to take our box wrench and we're going to get it as low as we can. And there it goes, it's in as low as possible, and we're just going to grab this in right here, and then we'll just pull up just like that. And you see the tension is starting to loosen. And so remember that once you take the belt off and you lower that tensioner back, it's going to come back low. And since we started so low and we're going to go all the way up to here, and we remove the belt, then when we come back it'll be fine. And then we can just remove our wrench, put in the new belt, and then we're going to start at the bottom. So like I mentioned in the diagram, it's best to start at the bottom, get the bottom pulley started, and then you're going to thread this top part in through these pulleys, and then you want your last pulley to be at the very bottom here on the AC pulley. I noticed that for me that was the best. So getting everything threaded through and then finishing at the very bottom on the AC pulley is what helped the most. And so as you're doing that, you can have the tension off, and then once you get everything going and then you're ready to thread that last bit, then go ahead and take your wrench once more. You'll take your wrench and you will just go ahead and open up that tension, thread it onto the bottom of the AC pulley, and then just release that tension and you'll be fine. And so the reason that I say to start at the as low as you can is because it just makes it that much easier to put the belt on. If you kind of start a little up high and then do it, it just takes more time. It just takes more energy and effort to slide that belt onto the pulleys. And then also you want to check to make sure the belt is seated between the walls of the pulley so that it doesn't run off. Because if it runs off, then your whole belt is going to come out and it's going to just cause a lot of problems that you don't need. So that's how I recommend to do this job for the Hyundai Sonata, is to use a zero offset box wrench. That's what I've noticed works the best. I've tried a lot of different tools, and the zero offset box wrench is by far the best way to do this job. Okay, now that we know what to do, we're going to put our box wrench on that tensioner and go ahead and release that tension. So we'll just lift up pretty much until it stops. If you start low enough, it will max out. And so once it stops, go ahead and take your free hand and remove the belt off the AC pulley. And then after that, you can go ahead and lower your wrench back down, and that's it. Okay, so here is the layout for the belt tensioner on the Hyundai Sonata. And it's better to show you a diagram like this than to actually show you a video of how to install it on the car, just because on the car it's really hard to see and it's so tight that it would actually do more harm than good. So it's best to show you a diagram, and pretty much you're going to have your water pump here, belt tensioner, alternator, AC, crank. And so you want to start the belt on the back two pulleys and then work your way from the top, and then you're going to thread the belt through this area right here and then come up, and then you're going to leave the AC pulley alone. You're not going to thread the belt on just yet because you're going to need to release that tension. But you do want to finish on the AC pulley, because I found that this was the best way to finish. It was the most convenient because you can just get your hand down right in here and then slide the belt on. So what you want to do is you want to take your wrench, apply it to the belt tensioner, and set that wrench as low as possible. And then you're just going to lift up, and then that's going to release the tension so that you can then slide your belt onto the pulley. And you're going to hold that tension while you're sliding the belt onto the pulley. So this is pretty much the best way to install the belt, in my opinion. And there's others out there that will, they say the same thing. And so, once again, the point of this video really is about the tool, but I do want to just mention, or at least point out, how this belt can be applied as efficiently as possible, along with using the right tool. So once again, you're going to just install the belt from the back pulleys, and then you're going to work your way through here, and then this is a thread kind of like, so you're going to pinch the belt and just kind of push it through. That's what worked best for me, was once you get in this area right here, just pinch the belt and then just feed it, and it'll kind of roll on itself, and then that'll take you through this area right here, and then you can start looping it through here, and then you'll come down onto the AC pulley. And then once you're ready to finish on the AC pulley, then that's when you're going to release the tension by pushing that wrench up, and then that's going to allow for the belt to slide onto the AC pulley. And then remember, you want to make sure the belt is seated and that it's on all of the pulleys, and it's, you know, between the highest walls on each side. And the best way to check is to run your finger over the pulley, to kind of just slide your finger across, and it should be somewhat of a level surface. If you feel that your finger falls into a ridge or anything like that, then, or if the belt is kind of hanging off the edge, you can feel a lip, like the belt catching your finger, then you know that the belt is not on right, and you want to make sure that the belt is on before you start the car, or else you're going to have a bunch of problems you don't need. So yeah, that's the best way to install the belt, and hope that helps. Okay, so now we have our new belt on and we're ready to go. So everything has been threaded through, and we're just going to finish by putting the belt onto the AC pulley. So we'll loosen that tension up once more, take our free hand down, and we'll go ahead and slide the belt onto the AC pulley, just like this. And now you can see that the belt is not on all the way. So if you were to start the car and the belt were to come off, you could be in big trouble. So let's do it right. So we'll just slide that belt on all the way, make sure it's on there with, you know, just by feeling it, make sure it's between the rails, lower the wrench so that it's tight, just like that. And now that we have tension, we're gonna go and we're gonna double check just to make sure everything's good. Feel that the belt is seated between those rails, and we're gonna do that to all the pulleys and just make sure that everything's good. All right, everybody, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.